I am your host, JL Adams, and on this episode of Intoxicated, the Sip and Chat Show, Mrs. India Guyana 2018, Shivanie Latchman Prasad talks about her traditional upbringing, the importance of charitable gestures, and the road to being crowned Miss India Guyana 2018.
If I can help you and if I know at the end of the day I would have done something good for someone, it makes me feel better as a person and even motivates me to want to do more.
These topics and more as we sit, sip, and chat with Mrs. India Guyana 2018, Shivanie, here on Intoxicated, the Sip and Chat Show.
I'm Shivanie Latchman Prasad, Mrs. India Guyana 2018. You're tuned into Intoxicated. Remember to always drink responsibly.
Hey Shivanie, thank you for coming.
Hi Jamal, thank you so much for having me.
How are you?
I'm doing awesome. Already had a sip of this lovely cocktail you made and I'm completely enjoying it and I already feel relaxed.
I'm glad. By the way, you look fabulous.
Thank you. Me and my bling.
Yep, you're getting your bling on.
My bling on. This reminds me of my good friend Joel Gancham.
Yeah, yes. Getting your bling on. So first of all, congratulations. You recently won the Miss India Guyana pageant.
Mrs. India Guyana.
Mrs. India Guyana pageant. So
thank you so much. I hold that title with a lot of pride.
Definitely. Yeah. So for those who may not know, tell us a little bit about yourself, like where you grew up and stuff like that, whom you grew up with.
Okay, so I'm Shivanie Latchman. Now Shivanie Latchman Prasad. Of course, I have to give my husband that.
Definitely. I'm seeing the bling.
The bling.
You bling.
Well, I grew up. I was actually born in Canal. Caglendam actually moved to Canal number 2, and then at the age of 5 I migrated with my parents to Little Diamond on the east bank of Demerara after my mom and dad separated. So yeah, my mom has been the role model, the inspiration, the figure in my life who has taught me a whole lot, and I'm very grateful for the aspect of her upbringings, because I know because of that I have turned out into this lady that I am today. At least, I think I have made her proud.
I myself is a mother's boy, and motherly love is priceless. And I don't know what I would have become without my mother's supervision and mom's guidance. So cheers to
that. So we're drinking responsibly, right? Thank God I have a driver tonight. So
definitely. So did you grow up with any siblings?
I have 2 brothers. I'm the eldest, leading by 2 years. But I can say safely, as much as I'm the sister and the only sister amongst 2 brothers, I think we get along very well. And I have learned so much from them. I can say safely that I'm a street girl too.
Okay.
I mean, in this day and age and era, it's good to have a little bit both of balance, tradition, street, education. You have to be rounded, right? Okay. So I took every opportunity to dabble along and go along whenever I get the opportunity to, if it's hanging with my brothers or the male generation, as you call them. So
do you guys still hang out regularly?
Because we all have our responsibilities, jobs, commitments. We do try to keep in touch because family is very important.
Definitely.
But let's say maybe once a week.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you did mention your mom and also mention education. How important what's your mom's role when it comes to you taking education seriously as a child growing up?
Yeah, Jamal, I will tell you this. I still remember every time persons ask me this, I would say my mom always had curfews.
Curfews?
Yes. So curfew was a big thing in our house. And she always said that I'm going to let you fly, but let's make a deal.
Yep.
Right? So we made a deal. I remember at the age of 8, I was very involved in temple. I used to sing bhajans in temple. I would go on Sundays and see the girls dancing at their youth group temple class. And I went home that day and I said, Mommy, I want to dance. Okay. I've always been intrigued in dancing, culture, art, the idea of the colorful costumes, and you get to express yourself on another level. Which in Indian culture you tend to tame it down, but if you go on stage you can express yourself a little bit more. So I wanted a platform to do that. So I remember I went home and I said, Mommy, I want to dance. She said, She said, no, let me think about it. So I said, okay, fine. I remember going to temple the next week, Sunday, and I see the girls dancing again. And I went home that same day and I said, you know what, mommy will have to say yes this time. So that's when she said, I'm going to let you spread your wings, but let's make a deal. So she said, I want you to be home by 6 p.m. sharp. If you're not at home by 6 p.m. sharp, your privilege will be taken away for 1 month. I'm like, that's like 3 and 3, 6 and 3, 9, 12 sessions. I would not be able to attend 12 sessions. I'm going to be missing out a whole lot. Jamal, you know what I did? If ever class run a little bit late, I will ask myself for an excuse and I will say, you know what, I have to go, I have a curfew. I didn't mind to say what it was. I need to let my Guruji know I had a curfew. And I will run down that street.
Wow.
I would run up the road and I would be home at 6 sharp. And I will say, Mom, look at the clock. I'm home by 6. So I think because I kept my end of the bargain too, she believed in me. She supported me. And she always advocated that I have a balance. Education comes first and extracurricular activities. That's where my dancing came in.
Okay.
Temple was very important because we are a family that believes in staying together, praying together. I grew up with that motto, a family that prays together, stays together. And even in my recent reign, Mrs. India Guyana, that's one of the platform I try to advocate because I realize times now have changed.
Definitely.
And a lot of families are now praying together. So I wanted to remind them of how important that is. So yes, my mom played a very big part in making sure that I have a balance, ensuring that it is so important. Because even now, I advocate for that. I do believe, there are kids who study all the time, but you still need to have a balance.
Definitely.
You still need to relax the mind. You still need to maybe watch TV or do a sport or have a chat or do whatever.
Drink a beer sometimes.
Or even
not the kids, though.
Not the kids.
Not the kids, the parents.
This is over 21, right?
Over 21.
Over 21. I mean, nothing is wrong with consuming a little. I mean, I'm not a big drinker. Maybe the max I will do is 2 drinks.
And that's it.
I love red wine. I would occasionally, at the end of a hard day, when I come back from work, I may, at the end of the night, have a glass of wine before going to bed. But I occasionally, when I catch up with my friends, I have a drink or 2. But I ensure that if I'm driving, I'm going to probably only have half. Or I'm going to have a non-alcoholic beverage.
Of course.
You know, in a fancy glass that makes you feel like, oh, wow,
like you're not missing out on anything.
Exactly.
Do you currently have any kids?
No.
Okay, so I'm guessing one day, because you are married, one day you'll definitely have some.
I love children. I give back a lot to children too. I believe in humanity and serving and helping the less fortunate. So definitely. What I'm going to hand down to my kids for sure is the aspect of I grew up in tradition whereby culture, morals, values, pride, dignity, those things were taught, instilled
into you,
at an early age. And I now look back, sometimes when you fight with your parents, you in the moment you always think that they're wrong, but years to come when you would have now developed and you've been through hurdles that you would have really picked yourself up and move on, and you come out of it, then you say, hey, when I look back, my mom or my parents or my grandma or my granddad was correct. That, they have experienced this, and it's just that they didn't want you to make the same mistake, which rightfully, when you care, that's a natural thing that will follow with care. But I always say that if you experience your own mistake, then you will know how to learn and not to repeat it again. So it's always good to give yourself that opportunity. If, let's say, something comes at you and you want to give it a try that you're not sure what the outcome will be, just embrace it. Whatever the outcome is, it really teaches you. Definitely. Every situation will teach you something, and you will come out of it with maybe a broader spectrum of knowledge. And you can probably give advice, which in the end it's still for that person to experience and then give their own advice and bits and pieces of what their experiences are. So what I would want to give to my children is the aspect of having time management, curfew, morals, dignity, values, praying together, sticking together, supporting each other. And one big aspect is always have respect for yourself, because if you respect yourself, you will respect others. And I also have the self motto: what I want from you, I want for you.
Definitely. So we'll get to the old Mistress India aspect of your life. But what are some of the things that Shivanie is currently involved in at the moment?
Okay, well, I have my 9 to 6 job because we still have to pay the bills, right?
Definitely.
So I work at the Marriott Hotel as a catering sales manager. My responsibilities there are pretty big. I'm in charge of all local catering, meaning that if someone comes for a meeting, weddings, party, dinner, whatever it may be, retreat, corporate event, I'm the person who's responsible for selling that event. So my responsibility is very big. However, I love what I do because I love meeting people and I love sharing moments and building relationships. Aside from that, I host a TV show called Entertainment Buzz every Sunday on MTV. That program is designed to showcase local talent and just keep abreast with what's happening in Bollywood, the new releases and music, and all the Bollywood stars that happens to pop up that we may find ourselves following because they would have influence social media and what they do, and they're surrounded very well.
So what was the inspiration behind starting up the television show Entertainment Buzz?
I guess it's my passion for dancing and creating a platform to showcase the little pieces that we would have put together. Because I've been dancing since I was 8 years old. I've been fortunate to have gotten the blessings from my mom and then had the support from the temple and then had great leaders who saw potential that pushed me. Today I have my own dance troupe, so I'm so grateful for that.
So how do you find that balance between your professional life, the dancing, you're married, the TV show? How do you do it? It seems like it's a lot.
The balance.
The balance,
it comes with the support from my family. That's the foremost help that I would get that I say will strike a balance for me. And the aspect of me being very time, I work with time well, and because I have the drive to get all these things done, I always have a diary. Like I have my 2019 diary and I'm looking at, okay, tomorrow I have this at that time. I'm going to gear myself towards getting that done. And of course, time sometimes fly away and you happen to have a good conversation and you may mess your schedules up a little. But because I have the passion for it, I somehow find the time to make and create that balance with the support from my family.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about Ishara.
Ishara. Okay, so Ishara has been probably in existence about 12 years now.
12 years, okay.
12 years, yes. It's been a long time. But prior to that, I was dancing with the temple, and then I had support from Dimple Mendonca, who's one of my Guruji. So dance has been a part of my life forever. But Ishara has been around for 12 years, and it gives me a platform to really showcase my talent and my passion for dancing.
Okay, so what are the objectives behind Ishara?
Behind Ishara? It's to give persons the opportunity that they may not be able to, because I was fortunate enough to have grown up in a village that had a temple, that had a Guruji who was inspired by dance and who wanted to showcase her talent and share it with a platform whereby youths like myself then could have been granted the opportunity to hold on and mold and get the opportunity to go on stage and perform. So when I created Ishara, I wanted to do the same, to give persons the opportunity who have the same passion and drive as I do. And Jamal, you may not believe this, the amount of calls and emails and Facebook and WhatsApp from my Entertainment Buzz program, it is overwhelming. But I'm so happy that persons are seeing, they're watching, and they're liking. And somehow you born with this talent of saying that I love dancing and I don't know where it came from. I love dancing and I don't know where it came from because none of my family members are dancers.
That's crazy.
My brother, however, is a phenomenal dancer and he's one of the lead dancers in my troupe. So my brother and I dance together.
That's nice. Just like you guys pray together.
Just like we pray together.
So how many members Ishara has to date?
I would say about 20 members, but it's growing all the time. We have persons coming and going, and sometimes during the summer vacation, as they're off from school break, they will come take a few sessions, and then when I have a production, they will fall in, because Ishara has a show every year.
Okay.
This year will be our 6th production, and it's merely giving the persons the opportunity and a platform to go and perform on stage. The clothes, we will try to raise funds from sponsors to help us with that, so they don't have to spend a dime to get anything. They're being trained, the costumes are being provided, and then we create this platform whereby they come, they dance, they have videos that will last them forever, that they can look back and say, I've done this.
So could anybody come and become a member of Ishara?
Of course, I welcome everyone.
What are like the steps if I would like to, become
Just get my number.
Get your number
and come to class. I will
come
give
to class.
you location.
Is the class free?
It is free.
Okay.
It is free, Jamal. It is free. I mean, if I can give back a little and I have the energy to, I will.
I actually read that you guys performed in Trinidad.
Yes.
How did that came about?
Well, just like every Indian Arrival Day, I remember I sometimes volunteer and perform with the Indian ISC organizations. They will do melas across Guyana. And this promoter, Jarat Singh, that does Chutney Sukha Monarch, came to one of that production for ISC several years ago, and he saw my group and he came and he said to me that very night, I'm taking your group to Trinidad for Chutney Sukha Monarch. You guys are super talented. When I heard that, Jamal, I wanted to drop a tear because I'm like, oh my God, this is an opportunity, right?
It is.
Because no other dance troupe in Guyana had gotten any opportunity as that to, go on the international stage as big as Chutney Sukha Monarch to go perform, and my group has nothing to do with chutney. We're a Bollywood group, so we had to be really entertaining for him to come and say, you are going to Trinidad. And that trip was sponsored. 8 of my team members went. We were put up in Hyatt Hotel. Meals were accommodated for. It was really nice, and I will hold that memory forever. Thanks, Jarat Singh.
So what's next for Ishara as a brand?
Well, as a brand, I'm going to have our 6th production this year. I'm still dabbling with ideas because every year we come with a different platform whereby we focus on a different issue or a different era of Bollywood song and dance, or maybe something that's trending that I may want to build on and put some dance steps to it, put them into costumes, and make it as an impression whereby people can look, people can be entertained, and people can still learn something. So I'm still dabbling ideas this year, but that show is going to probably be sometime coming down to the last quarter of this year.
What are some of the charitable work that you would have done over the years?
Well, I'm always a member of the Nirvana Society. They're located on the west coast of Demerara. They have this organization whereby they're giving back to the less fortunate. They have like a library that you can go read up on. They have dance classes, and ever so often they hold these little food and clothes drive whereby you take to the persons who may not be able to afford certain things or being privileged for certain things. So I've always teamed up with them. We would do concerts to raise fund and give back to some organization. I remember one time we took a drive up to Berbice whereby we helped someone that had cancer. So just to help them with some financial fundraising activities, and the monetary funds that we would have gotten from that concert, we would have been able to give that person to help them with their medical bills.
So would starting a charitable organization be something that you would do in the future?
For sure. Okay. You know what I want? To get rich. And when I have like a whole lot of money that I can splurge on people, I'd want to be able to give back to the people who really work and really, sometimes there are people who really try their best.
Definitely.
But there's only a certain point they get. If I can pinpoint, I'm this free-handed person that I will give you because I like the aspect of seeing people happy. So I hope that one day I get super rich and I have this shelter that I can have warm meals for persons who may not be able to afford a meal, and have a shelter to come to whereby you can have a class, like a dance class, and you can have someone to help them in an academic with reading. Just a platform whereby you can get off the streets and come make something of yourself.
That's nice. That's so nice. So how important you think it is for people to be considerate when it comes to charitable gestures?
Oh my God. That is a big aspect because I think times have changed. And I think, honestly, more persons are now coming back into the aspect. Like, for a 10 years period, I've seen a lot of things have been lost. Like, and when I was 20, now, I'm not giving away my age, but looking at a 10 years period, I would have seen a lot of things have been lost. Like, families were losing touch. people were less compassionate. But I think right now, from last year and the year before to now, I'm seeing more persons are willing and wanting to give back. I'm seeing more persons wanting to do things with their families. Like for a period of time, like the movie theaters, you never had people going. Now you hardly can ever get a ticket.
Yeah, that's a
because
fact.
there are more families going out, watching movies, they're spending time with each other. And I think times have changed and it's slowly coming around. However, I think we're still influenced in a sense, the social media, music, and there's so many things we're still influenced by. But I think it is very, very important that we maintain a compassionate soul. It helps you personally. For me, it calms me. If I can help you, and if I know at the end of the day I would have done something good for someone, it makes me feel better as a person and even motivates me to want to do more. So that's what it does for me. So I say give it a try. Try to be compassionate and see what it does for you.
Definitely. So tell us a little bit about the leading up to that monumental achievement that you would have accomplished last year as Mrs. India.
Mrs. India.
Yeah.
I mean, when I heard that Hashim Ali is now the new director, national director for the pageant, I mean, Hashim and I went way back, and he said, you know, Shiv, why don't you submit your bio? Because they're doing a selection. They are going to review so many young women, accomplished married women, or you necessarily don't have to be married if you have a child, or if you've been, if you've been together with someone and he passes away, you know, in the status that you would have accomplished a union with someone, or you would have brought forth life, in the sense that you're eligible for this platform. However, they still had requirements such as you must be in tune with culture, you must be able to have a positive aspect to give back and be a good role model to society and so forth. So all those aspects, you know, he's saying you already have everything. Just send your bio, let's have the panel review and then see what comes out of it. And then I got a phone call saying you have been the selected one.
Whoa.
Yeah, so I had the coronation, was in October last year. It was a great moment. I must say that it has opened another scope and aspect of whereby I have now a wider platform to share my thoughts, to remind person and advocate for togetherness, and a family that prays together stays together, and to be more compassionate, because during my time or the month that I was crowned, you know, and media is all over you. They want to know what are you going to do, how were you selected, and XYZ, and those were always the discussions I've had with people. And in the sense that I have now gotten a platform to discuss and to share my thoughts, and hopefully it helps someone in some way, it is a huge accomplishment for me.
Definitely. So as Miss India, what are some of your overall responsibilities?
Well, at the same time, the task is very big. We must uphold and promote culture. And when I was crowned, it was closer to Diwali, so there were so many festivities that we attended. At the same time, we advocate for maintenance and keeping together your morals, dignity, values, promoting culture, promoting family, promoting relationships. So those are the aspects that I'm tasked with, which is very simple for me.
So you recently represented Guyana in December in New Jersey. Tell us a little bit about that overall experience.
That was an amazing experience for me. Aside from meeting so many faces and culture and beauties and phenomenal women, those are the plus out of it. The bigger plus for me is that I would have gotten the opportunity to challenge myself.
Okay.
You know, competition is so hard. There's so many good women you're competing against that you would have bonded while rehearsing. You would have built that sisterhood, but when you go on stage, it's still a competition.
It is a competition.
So it is nerve-wracking. You have the crowd may because you're in a foreign land, you may not have your supporter. You really have to buy into the audience for the audience to say, "Go Guyana!" And when I hear they say Guyana, I was like so happy for the sense that, you know, I've been able to step out of my comfort zone, and I've gone on to the international leg, representing my country to the best of my ability, taking some of Shivani's personality on stage and challenge myself. So I would say the experience is a phenomenal one. I would encourage women, men, whatever you want to call it, challenge yourself, go out and accomplish something. If it means going a part of a competition, a beauty pageant, fashion show, or maybe wanting to write an article and putting it out there, whatever it may be, I encourage you to go out and get it done. I guarantee you, you will gain so much out of it.
So, were people familiar with where you came from? Because, you know, in America, whenever you hear about Guyana, people
Say
basically
Ghana.
Ghana or, you know, put it next to Jonestown.
Because it was
What were they saying?
Because it was an Indian pageant,
Yeah.
and Ghana's always sent a representative. Ghana was already
It's popular, okay.
Yes. So, I mean, the audience, for the sense that we're still so very similar in terms of the Indian culture from what you get in India and the culture that we embrace in Guyana. It is so similar. So, you know, persons who are already familiar with Guyana and its representative. I mean, we've had Alana Sibaran, who won Miss India a few years ago, and then last year we've had Sangeeta, who won second runner-up in the Miss pageant, and it's the first year that the Misses has got into the top 5. So it was a great accomplishment for me, and you know, of course, I will hold that very dear, and it's going to be one of the top things that I will always remember, a part of my journey in life.
So, are you done with pageantry, or you have your eyes on a few more crowns?
I mean, age does not permit me. But I would say that, I mean, I still do dancing and I still have that platform. So pageantry was never really my thing. I just wanted to go out and challenge myself. I've done that. My bucket list, I've already been able to check one off. So I have a lot more that I need to accomplish. So I'm gonna, of course, steer towards those.
Okay, that's nice. So, you know, it's no secret that in life, everybody faces challenges, everybody goes through adversities and stuff. You know, we haven't touched on any of those stuff for you. So, is there anything else that you would like to share, you know?
I mean, in a nutshell, I have had some really down times in my life.
Okay.
I remember when we lost our house.
Okay.
In a fire, we lost everything. My mom, our family, we were so broken. I mean, we worked so hard for all the things that, you know, we would have been able to put into that house and build. And the memories for us is the memories that we would have lost. Images, pictures, little tokens that you would have kept from loved ones that has now passed on. So many things. So from a fire to an accident to being robbed, to being experienced so many things that may pull you down as an individual. I will say that today I am who I am because I had people who rally around me and the support from my family. And I've also maintained a positive mindset, a positive outlook. I'm this person who, if I have a dull moment now, Jamal, I'm gonna say, you know what? I'm gonna take a few steps back. And it's okay to take a few steps back. And I will talk to myself. I would say, what is it I'm doing wrong? What is it that I'm not doing that it's making me or it's contributing towards the outcome of the situation right now? What can I do to make it better? And how can I improve and learn from this and move forward? I list my pros and I list my cons, and then I will evaluate. I'm gonna cry a little just to
Definitely.
suck it in,
Crying is good sometimes.
I do believe so, because I'm such an emotional person. I say I'm such a mushy person. So I will do that. I will wipe my tears and I say, okay, fine, this is what I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna do it with a smile and with the most pride, and my chin up and my shoulders tucked very high, and I'm gonna put on my red lipstick, and I'm gonna lose
Looks
my
beautiful,
hair
by the
down.
way.
Red is my favorite color.
Yeah.
I'm black too, but I love a red lipstick.
Okay.
And I'm gonna just do it with the best of my ability. So in a nutshell, that's Shivanie. Anything else you want to know?
So, what would you say to some of the younger people that will be looking at this interview, and you know, they might be saying, "I want to be like Shivanie. I want to be successful like Shivanie. I want to be accomplished like Shivanie." But because of where I'm at right now, I don't see that as a possibility. What would you advise them to do?
I would say, I mean, I say this all the time on my TV show. My TV show is created to create a platform whereby I can motivate. I can tell people whatever you want to do. Make sure you get up and give it a try. Whatever the outcome is, it's going to still be an outcome that you will learn from. I always say that in life we always have a purpose.
Yeah.
You have a purpose, I have a purpose, and I feel my calling is to help persons, to remind them of how important it is to be compassionate. I do believe we're all here and we all have a purpose and responsibility, Whatever it is, whatever the outcome is, I'm quite sure that persons will learn from it, they will grow from it, and they will develop themselves from it. So my advice to anyone who's looking at this show, if there is something you want to do, I say go do it now.
Just do it.
Because you know what? Time waits on no one. We age daily. We don't know what tomorrow has in store for us. We don't know if we're gonna be here tomorrow. It could be a relationship, it could be your career, it could be your studies, it could be a hobby, it could be your dreams, whatever it is. It could be a vacation. It could be a trip that you want to go visit a country, or mend ways with someone that you may have not spoken to for years, or weeks, or months, or whatever it is. Just get up and go do it now.
So what's next for Shivanie in general?
What's next?
What's next?
Well, I guess you'll have to wait and see. No, but what's next is that I'm going to start planning my show, Ishara.
Okay.
And of course, I have a few months more as my reign Mrs. India Guyana. I'm sure our national director has some projects planned and lined up for us. And we're going to, of course, venture off into looking for a new queen. And so I have that task still, and I still have my responsibilities at the Marriott. I still have my batch of students who are waiting sessions, and I still have my show to entertain the audience and share a little bit of my personality. So there's so much that I would do on a daily basis, and it's because I like it. I like making the best of my days. And my mom always said, do it while you have the energy, girl.
Definitely. So is there anything that we forgot to speak about? Did we cover everything?
I think we covered a lot. But I'm quite sure I'm going to be back on your show again.
Definitely.
And maybe the next time it will be us on the opposite
side. Cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
So before we go, do you have any questions that you would want to ask me?
Just out of curiosity. I mean, I've seen lots of talk shows whereby it's always compressed into and you never get to know a person when you have a 15-minute show. What prompted you to do something like this?
For that same reason. You know,
easy answer.
Yeah,
right?
for that same reason. I wanted to give, the people a platform whereby they can actually sell themselves as a whole and not just what they're doing as of the moment, because people, whenever you go on an interview here in Guyana, people just talk about what you have going on right now, opposed to what led you to what you have going on and, what you have planned for the future. So I wanted to give people a platform whereby they can come and talk about the childhood experience, about growing up, about the school, the school days, about, how influential the parents was as a child and what basically drove them to this point in life and what is going to drive them to, the future goals and the future accomplishment.
Oh my God. So this right here, what you've just said, I hope that the producer right now is watching and he's saying, you know what, we need to swap seats pretty soon. We need to get more about you.
More about me? I definitely have a story, trust me.
And it's so important that you can be an influence and a positive role model.
Yeah.
So it is very important.
That's all that matters. So do you have any friends that you would like to nominate to have this Intoxicated experience?
Yes, lots of them. So I will nominate the first one, Shivanie Latchman, National Director for the Miss India pageant. And when he comes, I'm going to give him a buzz bee to say who's the next person you must nominate.
Okay.
We have lots of people. I'm sure I'll pass the scoop. And from this one, I'm quite sure a lot of my friends will say, hey, I want an opportunity.
Definitely.
You're all about motivating, being a role model, empowering, giving back, and spreading cheer. So
let the people know where they can find you, maybe on Instagram, Facebook, if they're interested in learning more about Shivanie.
Yes. I have a Facebook page, Shivanie Latchman Ishara. And I have an Instagram page, Shivanie Latchman 1. And of course, email ShivaniLatchman25@gmail.com. And my mobile is public already. It's on my 622-0601 for everyone who wants to be a part of my dance troupe, for everyone who wants to give back to charity and join our venture and just, like I said, spread cheer, live life, give back, help, and be as compassionate as possible.
Okay, thanks for coming.
Thank you so much, Amal.
It was a pleasure.
Thank you so much for this lovely talk.
You're welcome.
What up, it's your boy J. Adams, aka The Intoxicator. And if you like the video you just now saw and want to see more of it, then make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. so you can be up to date with what's happening here on this channel. Okay? And if you want to see some uncut, behind the scenes footage of what's happening here on Intoxicated, the Sip and Chat Show, make sure to click the Patreon link below. So remember to support the thing, to be up to date with the thing. I'm out.